Tonight, a bear fight, a U-Haul joyride in Newark, a tax-free toilet, how a racist assaults a boxer, and Molotov cocktail totals an Old Bridge family's Chevy Malibu. Stay tuned for a special interview with New Jersey Corruption Watch. This is Eyes on New Jersey News with your hosts, John Edmonds and Jordan Kamowitz.
Hi, good evening, viewers, and welcome back to a new edition of Eyes on New Jersey News. My name is John Edmonds.
And I'm Jordan Kamowitz.
And we thank you for joining us this evening. So far, we've got a plethora of topics to discuss tonight. We have the bear fight out of Sussex County.
Tonight, a bear fight, a U-Haul joyride in Newark, a tax-free toilet, how a racist assaults a boxer, and Molotov cocktail totals an Old Bridge family's Chevy Malibu. Stay tuned for a special interview.
A little technical difficulty. Okay, now I'll do an editing. I'll load up the bear video. Okay, so let's pull up the bear video. Do you know how to pull that up here? Yeah. Okay, so this is coming out of...
Look at that fucking video son of a bitch.
Okay.
It's a little technical difficulty. That's all we needed. Just a good way to open up a show, right?
Let's put the new shot up. Pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're turning to Sussex County this evening, where a bear, actually two bears, decided to duke it out with each other. Let's watch. Play video.
Look at the size of that. Look at that fucking
video
son
now.
of a bitches.
Get ready
right
to get
in the front yard.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Get ready to come in, Core.
I'm coming.
Honey.
Fuck that, I'm going in.
And that seemed to be more entertaining than a WWE episode. Anything that I've seen, at least. That's just, nature at its finest, natural selection. Just a funny way of kind of doing some terms. But anyway, what do you think about it, John?
Well, I mean, I believe that the homeowner was a very brazen individual. I believe that the homeowner was a very brazen individual. His name was Corey Bale, and he appeared to be filming the ordeal from his porch in very close proximity to those bears. And this man, as daring as he was, he had a bold sense of humor as well, with some choice words, as you could hear. And we thank Mr. Bale for his contribution.
Yeah, it was great footage, actually.
Indeed. The next story we have for you this evening is out of Newark, New Jersey. This comes from the Instagram group Newark Wildlife 2.0. And this is, let's pull it up here, shall we? Yes, here it is. Okay.
He's gonna take it! Go get him! It's over. It's over.
So, I mean, as you can see in the video, the motor vehicle operator, that U-Haul truck, clearly demonstrates no remorse for public safety, for the safety of the officer there involved. In addition to the vehicle, I mean, this is a rented vehicle. It's property of the U-Haul Corporation, and they're going to have to foot the bill after this. All the damage to the transmission, the transfer case, the wheel bearings, the brake rotors. This is all cost. It's just going to get passed off to U-Haul for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like John had said. There's no regard for anybody. It seems like it just seems like nobody's remorseful. It's just a joyride that was looking to get some sort of exposure on social media platforms, and clearly, I mean, this is just a blatant disregard of actual reform. As far as street safety and liability and everything involved. It's kind of ludicrous. It's crazy what people will do just for that 5-minute exposure window.
Absolutely. The next story we go to is the tax-free toilet out of Asbury Park, New Jersey. This was first reported by New Jersey Corruption Watch. They first published this story just last week. And let's just pull up some clips of the incident. Now, the tax-free toilet appears to be it was a local church that had a terrible situation on their rooftop. A neighboring female tenant had been collecting excrement in bags and basically just throwing the bags onto the roof of the church. This was just her way of disposing of them. I mean, what are your thoughts on this, Jordan?
It seems like, if there wasn't a really disgusting odor, that nobody would have really found it, and it would have been something that would have been unregarded. So this is just, no, this is a terrible situation, especially to handle an argument or whatever the cause of, the sort of act of throwing feces onto a roof of, a church. I mean, this is a place of worship, and here it is being tarnished by someone else's excrement. It's just insane what people do. I mean, it's just, there's ways to handle situations, and I don't think this was one of them, to be honest.
And sure, right you are, Jordan. And believe it or not, this story of the tax-free toilet published by New Jersey Corruption Watch was actually shared by a Facebook group titled Asbury Park, The Beauty Within. So this is clearly a satire post. I mean, you'd think that a representative of the town of Asbury Park, someone that's trying to promote good PR about the town, you'd think that they might stray away from sharing a story like this.
Just for their own, especially for the name of the town. I mean, it's up and coming. It's been really gentrified recently. It's a beautiful place to be. It's the place to be, especially when the weather is nice and warm out. And they're just tarnishing, I feel like, the name in this PR reform. There's just no way about it other than that. It's crazy.
Yes, indeed, Jordan. Now, the next story comes to us from Morris Plains, New Jersey. A New Jersey Transit rider was last Friday. He was going. This is according to News 12 New Jersey. The train goer. He was traveling from Newark to Morristown, New Jersey, on the NJ Transit line, when he was approached by a impolite individual. Now, this individual asked if the bathroom was available. And this boxer, this off-duty boxer, his response was non-existent. So this agitated aggressor, he began to insult him with, I believe it was uses of the N-word and other racial slurs. And when that didn't get his way, he proceeded to punch this innocent bystander. And well, that punch proved to be detrimental to this aggressor, as the victim was indeed a boxer, and his response was to punch right back, and we commend him for doing that.
Hobby and a chance purchase 5 years ago could pay off in a big way. When Tommy Boyd isn't protecting and serving Seaside Heights, he collects autographs. He's now selling what is believed to be the final 2 signatures from John F. Kennedy. Boyd says back in 2014, he bought this notebook containing 2 signatures from the late president hours before he was assassinated in Dallas. President Kennedy signed the book for a young airman stationed at Carswell Air Force Base. Boyd says he was watching a documentary on JFK's final hours when he made the startling connection.
As I'm sitting there watching it on my big screen TV, I saw JFK holding my notebook in his hand, and I went, I can't believe that. That's my notebook, because I knew he signed it at Carswell Air Force Base.
Wow, less than 2 hours later, JFK was shot while riding in his motorcade. Boyd says he had the notebook examined by experts who authenticated the signatures. He says he now wants to sell it because he feels it's the right time. So the notebook now up for bid online on Golden Auctions. The current bid, $27,000. Pretty sweet.
So basically, to sum it all up, this man, asked for if anybody was in the restroom, and at the time just wanted to know if anybody was using it, and the guy had no response, which, obviously he probably didn't know. So at the time, I mean, that seemed like the logical reasoning behind it, and this guy got agitated and started, picking on his race, his skin, his ethnicity, whatever you may call it. And at that point, they seemed to get into a verbal disagreement, and from there, some punches were, had on the aggressor's side, and little did he know that the man used to be a former boxer. And I guess he found out in a very, very bad way, that man clearly had the capabilities of doing a lot more damage than him. So, it goes back to the saying where it's like you never know what kind of thing that you're walking into, what kind of situation. So always kind of be, a little bit more, I guess, able to read the situation and kind of think more clearly before you open up your mouth to someone, is, I guess, a great way to put it.
Sure. Well said, Jordan. Moving forward, our next story is a Molotov cocktail which was thrown into the motor vehicle of a Old Bridge family's Chevy Malibu. And this story was aired by News 12 New Jersey, and they actually obtained video evidence of the cocktail being thrown into the vehicle. Just need to find it.
Well, the good thing is we know exactly what we need to work on.
Oh man, we did so good last time. Like, what the fuck happened?
We had everything queued up, and you were, we kind of jumped into filming it today. I think if we have more time, not more time, but a better structure, everything set up, everything already linked. We go over it, we do a practice run,
Yeah.
We shouldn't stream this one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm looking super overexposed, to be honest.
See what we can do. That's not doing a good thing.
Press it.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay.
First tonight, a car parked at a driveway in New Jersey is set on fire. Tonight, the search for the arsonist who did it. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger has the story.
The flames lit up the night on Carter Drive in Old Bridge, the whole neighborhood asleep at 1:30 in the morning when someone ran up to the Calco family Chevy Malibu and vaulted a burning Molotov cocktail inside.
My brother barged into my room. He told me yo, you gotta come down. Your car's on fire. I'm like, my car's on fire. What? What do you mean? How did this happen?
Tonight, 17-year-old Nick was still trying to understand. Standing in his driveway, the asphalt singed, garage door siding melted by the extreme heat.
I truly think it's random because I don't think anybody had anything against us.
Nick was home asleep with his 2 brothers and their parents when the intruder firebombed their car. Police spent hours on the scene searching for clues. The fire, fortunately, loud enough to get the family out of bed. Otherwise, Nick doesn't even want to think about what could have happened.
Thank God I woke up because it would have been really bad if none of us woke up. But we're fortunate for that.
Police do have video showing the Molotov cocktail being thrown, but they haven't released any information on a suspect description. And if they have any idea what this was about in the first place, they're not telling us.
So, as
the
you
BTS Manhattan.
Wow, what a major fuck up this one has been. So basically, essentially, this Molotov cocktail was thrown at a residential home, burning down a little bit of their garage and causing some damage to the home itself. And this is just, you know, a real message to how far people take violence, and you know, like what we have going on in this generation of whether it's retaliation or whether it's just blatant physical harm or whatever it may be. I mean, it just kind of is a testament to where we are as a group of people, and it saddens me, you know, especially when a lot of places around the world and in the United States also, really, we kind of promote this idea of love and peace over anything else, and here we are doing things like this, and it's like, how are we, you know, supposed to spread that message of love and peace and unity in a utopian society when, you know, we have blatant attacks like this all over the world? It just seems like we are far from peace, and it's a scary thought. It's a really scary thought going into the future. What do you think about it, John? What are your thoughts? I'm interested to hear.
Indeed, I mean, Old Bridge is supposedly a calm and nice neighborhood, and you know, you don't expect this. You don't expect to wake up to your car being ablazed by a Molotov cocktail. You know, it just grabs you by surprise. Pure shock value in it. And for the perpetrator, I mean, for the cowardly perpetrator, he's on video. They're going to match up his dimensions, his feet marks.
Yeah.
And
he'll be found.
He'll be brought to justice.
Yeah.
So his little 15 minutes of fame is stunned. You know, yeah. It'll all be in vain. What the fuck am I talking about?
I think we've really fucked up on this episode, and you know, I think it's a good learning experience for us here at Eyes on New Jersey. I think it's a good way for us to move forward. We know what we really need to work on. We have to have everything technically set up before. I mean, you know, it was kind of all things included. I mean, I should have been here earlier. Maybe we should have had like at least a practice run before we went live, which we're going to plan on doing. There are a lot of things that we can learn, and I think there are some positives. The positives are that, you know, we're making a lot more eye contact than we ever have been. I think one of the positives is we knew these stories coming into it, so it seems like talking about it is a little bit easier than prior stories. But, you know, it's basically getting a flow down and getting it a little bit easier. I think it'll be also better, John, if we don't, you know, like, oh, I agree with you, like kind of say your thoughts, or if you do agree with me, you know, don't make it sound so newsy. Be like, oh, yeah, I completely agree with what you have to say. Like, you know, like I feel like this or that, you know, don't be like, oh, yeah, I agree with you. On to the next one, you know?
Sure.
That's something that we can really work on. No one's going to see this, so it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. This does not matter.
What do you want to do about Mike?
We're not going to call Mike.
Don't want to bother Mike, right?
No.
I wonder if Mike's watching. I don't think Mike's watching. Looks like nobody's watching.
Yeah, so I think we should wrap up here and kind of move forward.
I also got 3 hours of sleep tonight. That probably didn't help.
Yeah, I really think that, you know, it was, you know, it was me too. It was me too, buddy. I mean, because I should have been here earlier. We should have worked on a lot of stuff. We should have went over the stories. We really need to do a practice run before we go on air. Not only for the stories,
all
but
the stories like on paper on our desk in front of us. Like, I can't be flipping through the computer screen.
Yeah.
Let's just practice the outro while we have this going, and, and try and at least nail that.
Yeah, and then let's call it. Let's call it on that. God, that was like the worst episode we ever filmed.
Indeed. Okay, now the outro is planned. So I hope those stories have enlightened you this evening. Speaking with Michael from Corruption Watch has always been eye-opening to us as always. And
Such an influential man, yeah.
Indeed. I've been John Edmonds.
And I'm Jordan Kalmwitz, and we hope to see you guys next week. 8:15 is when we're airing, and we'll catch you next week.
Sundays at 8:15. Have a good night.
Good night. So yeah, man, we have a lot to work on. A lot to work on.
Jersey, an Edmonds production.